Hey everyone, Vince here, Saber Jiu-Jitsu Blue Belt and
Drea, Saber Jiu-Jitsu Brown Belt.
And today we're going to talk about why we decided to pursue Jiu-Jitsu in terms of a martial arts versus other martial arts.
Why did you decide to pursue Jiu-Jitsu?
So for me, I pursued Jiu-Jitsu, I started about 2.5 years ago. At that point I had been watching the UFC and all I heard was Jiu-Jitsu, Jiu-Jitsu, Jiu-Jitsu. But I really had no idea what it was. Like I didn't know Jiu-Jitsu, is that striking, is that Taekwondo, is that boxing? I didn't really have a clue.
Right.
But then there was, when I lived in San Diego, I lived next to a Gracie Humaita. And I passed by the sign all the time. And then I was like, you know what? I want to give this Jiu-Jitsu a try because I've always wanted to learn how to defend myself. And so, and then also I've also wanted to pick up a martial arts. I've never done any martial arts. Mm-hmm. So I decided to go to my first Jiu-Jitsu class. They gave us a week free trial.
This is your very first martial art class?
My very first martial art. So I had, at that point, I was really into powerlifting and not so much bodybuilding because I never really got any bigger, but powerlifting, at that point I was, 133, 135 pounds, but I was deadlifting 405, so I was really, really strong.
Yeah.
And so I went to Jiu-Jitsu, and they gave us a week pass trial, and the first day I got done, got my butt kicked, but then I was like, this is awesome, this is amazing, and then I signed up for the year right after that.
Nice.
And it was just so powerful because when I walked in, you see everyone wearing their belts, or like big people, small people, and there is this female, she's like right around your size as well.
Is Letty Hibero?
No, so she's down in Chula Vista, I believe.
Okay.
So
different San Diego.
Yeah, so a different gym in San Diego. It's Hedges Libre. So so I watched this female, and at that point I think she was a brown belt. She was whooping guys' butts that were like, she was like, anywhere from like 110 to 120 pounds, and then she was whooping guys that were 200, and I was like, I want to be that. If she can do it, I just need to put in the time. So
right.
That's how I got into Jiu-Jitsu. What about you?
Yeah. Actually, similar. I was watching UFC a lot at the time, and if you guys don't know what UFC is, that's Ultimate Fighting Champion, and it's where MMA fighters get together and beat the crap out of each other. But I would watch UFC, and I would notice, how people were winning fights, and people were getting armbarred, they were getting choked from behind, they were getting knee barred, triangle choked, and so I thought that was really interesting. And then I realized, or I found out later, that those type of attacks and finishes were actually Jiu-Jitsu. And so, because when you watch a UFC match, like if you're familiar with grappling, with striking or anything, you can see, maybe what art is being performed or whatever. And I could see wrestling, there's always takedowns, a lot of punching, a lot of Muay Thai. And then when it came to like the arm bars, I didn't really know like, what art is that? And I found out later it was Jiu-Jitsu. And so I looked into that, and at the time I was going to UFC gym, the workout gym, UFC gym. And one of the instructors of Jiu-Jitsu was the owner of our gym, of Saber, Bryant Pangilinan. And so I wanted to join. And so it took a while before I did join, but I eventually did want to join. And then he actually wasn't there anymore. He had started his own gym. So I found out where he was and signed up. And for me, I was looking for, at the time, a grappling art. Not similar, but something that could fill my wrestling void. I have a wrestling background in high school, and I used to wrestle a lot. And so I really wanted to fill that void because I just wanted to train and I wanted to grapple. And so when I figured out that Jiu-Jitsu was a combination of like takedowns and like then submissions, I was like, I think, I want to try it. So I did, and I had a good time. The funny part is I at first really hated the gi. Like, it's just so uncomfortable because coming from a wrestling background, we're wearing like singlets, which is not comfortable either, but it's not bulky and baggy. And so when I had to buy a gi, put it on, and then I was like, it's just so bulky. My first class, we were running and warming up, and I think I took off my gi top. I had a tank top on, but I was just like, this is too much. So I took the gi top off, and everyone was just kind of like laughing and thought I was like ridiculous. But I know they were kind of kind of poking fun at it, but at the same time, like, they understood it was my first day. And then Brian was like, you'll get used to it. But he let me warm up without my jacket on, even though he probably thought it was crazy. But I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I mean, everybody gets their butt kicked in the beginning, like, you know, because you don't know how to defend yourself, and you're coming into a gym of people that all do this every day, you know, and so they're whooping on you. But because, like, your personality, like, is like similar to mine, like, we want more, like, we want to learn, like, well, how can I get better at this? And so I just kept going. But I initially just was watching UFC and got interested at with the submissions and everything that was going on there. So, and I didn't want to get striked in the face. So I knew, like, compared to other martial arts like Muay Thai, which I actually like and I admire a lot, I don't want to get kicked in the head, mainly for concussions. Secondly, because I have bad eyesight already, and so I could literally go blind. I wouldn't want that to happen, so yeah.
Right. I mean, and same thing for me too. It's with jiu-jitsu, once you know the difference between the arts, with boxing, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is one of those arts to where you can go pretty much balls to the walls, like 100%, and for it still to be very safe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, if you're in a safe environment with good training partners, another thing is that it works.
Yeah, it's legit. Jiu-jitsu is legit.
And I know probably every martial arts says is legit, but it's one of those things to where if you go, I promise you, there is a 100% chance if you go to a legit gym.
Right.
Like, you can't go to a McDojo. Like, if you go to a legit gym, like, just ask to roll with even a purple belt, as someone that doesn't know anything, you stand absolutely zero chance, like zero, like more than, like, negative chance that you would be able to do something, right?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu is legit, and it's proven over and over. And if you watch, for example, bringing it back to the UFC fights, there's only a few martial arts that are represented that work in a ring of people that are experienced professional fighters. And, you know, a few of them are, you know, what did I say? Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, wrestling is in there, judo, karate, certain types of karate, not all of them. There's legit karate out there. That's another maybe episode or something. But there's only a few martial arts that are legit and that are represented that can work on people when you're fighting. And if you notice, you know, there's a ton. There could be, you could pull up a list of martial arts and there are names and things that you've never heard of, because they don't work, or maybe they haven't had the chance to be represented, but they work in fights. You know, jiu-jitsu works. It's even in daily lives for some people, like cops, when they restrain someone from behind, they hold them at a rear naked choke. They're not necessarily choking them, but they have them from behind, holding them in a rear naked. That's jiu-jitsu. So.
And I think even to expand on that, you know, jiu-jitsu, it's not all about chokes and arm bars and, you know, submissions, but it's the idea of you're able to control or negate your opponent, and then you're able to hold them in certain positions. They say the more that you know jiu-jitsu, the less that you want to fight, right? Because you know that you can negate that person, or you can just hold them down, right? If someone comes at you, like, you have them in a rear naked, and once you have them in a rear naked, you could put them to sleep in a split second, or you can just hold them there until, like, let's say, like, you're in a fight and, like, you're waiting for the cops to come, you can just hold them there, right? You can secure them, you can, you know.
Exactly. You can detain someone.
Detain someone, yeah,
exactly. No, that's definitely true. I think that if, you know, you're looking for a martial art and you're not sure which one to choose, like, definitely visit a few places, but I would really encourage everyone to kind of look for a legit jiu-jitsu gym within their area if you want to learn how to defend yourself. I mean, if you're looking for a martial art, I would hope that you're thinking about self-defense as well, because it's important. You never know when you'll need it, and hopefully you won't ever really have to need it outside of the gym. But jiu-jitsu is legit, and it's fun, and it pushes you to levels that you never thought it could possibly. So,
right.
Yeah.
And then there's so many other benefits.
Sure.
So one of the other benefits is, like, physical fitness.
Right.
If you've ever been to a jiu-jitsu class, you know, even rolling, there's never a day where you don't sweat. It's impossible. Like, it's impossible.
It really is.
And when you're done, especially when you're in the gi, you're drenched.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Totally.
drenched. It looks like, it's honestly
like slip and slide when you look at the mat too. There's just, like, sweat. I mean, it's gross, but it's a good thing. That means we're working hard, right?
Yeah.
So.
And, like, for me, I sweat more in 3 5-minute rounds than I do if I run a whole marathon.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like, legit. Like, because I'm at a marathon, I'm not going, like, that fast on the pace.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like, so physical fitness, not only that, but for me, another big reason why I've connected with jiu-jitsu and why I like jiu-jitsu so much is the community aspect of it, right?
Right.
There's something about not only like everyone's really nice, everyone comes from different walks of life, but also like we're trying to kill each other every single day, and it's the closest that you'll be to someone else besides your partner in life.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Yeah.
And you're sweating on each other.
Yeah,
and it really develops this like
camaraderie,
right?
Totally.
And that's not something that you can get. Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, and here's a caveat. I'm not sure. Because I haven't experienced any other martial arts.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone's always like, yeah, how's that jiu-jitsu stuff? I'm like, dude, it's great. You should do it.
Yeah.
It's always recommended.
Yeah.
Right? So
I think going off of that too, if you're at a good jiu-jitsu gym or you sign up at one, most places that do jiu-jitsu, they're very receptive to anybody. They want you to come in and learn because jiu-jitsu can be used, for a smaller person to defend themselves from a bigger person. You know what I mean? A lot of times there's always going to be someone bigger than you. Like you can be the biggest guy, guarantee there's another guy that's bigger than them, and they'll come across them one day. But just the community is very receptive, and you have, like, when you look at your gym, you have so many people, various people from various walks of life, and everyone, it's such a diverse place. Like everyone is doing something different. Everyone has a different career. Some people have kids, some people don't, some moms, some dads, like, there's just, everyone's in there. And it's because this art can be for everyone, old and young too. So I don't think there are a lot of martial arts that are like that, where they're legit and anyone almost can do it. By anyone, I mean it takes time to be able to do it, but anyone can start and work on it. So, yeah.
Cool, totally. Well,
all right.
Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for tuning in. See you all.
Thank you. See ya.